Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. In this video, I'm going to show you how car dealerships rip you off using the Foursquare method. So I graduated in December of 2010 with a finance degree when there was still blood in the streets and unemployment was at an all-time high. So instead of sitting around on my couch watching Netflix and eating potato chips, I decided to get a job. Couldn't find a job in finance, so what did I do? I ultimately got a job selling cars, right? So selling cars, there's nothing wrong with that as a profession. You can make a lot of money, but at the end of the day, I didn't just go to school for 4 years, get my finance degree, so I can do something that I can do without a high school degree, right? But I did learn a lot of valuable tactics and a lot of valuable skills that the dealerships use when trying to make money off of people, right? So if you've ever bought a car, you may have seen this before. This is what we call the Foursquare, okay? So up here you have your trade-in value. This is the car that you're trading in. Over here you have the price of the vehicle that you're buying. Down here you have your down payment, meaning the money that you're putting down towards the car if you're not paying cash. And then finally, you have the monthly payment down here, meaning if you're financing the vehicle, these will be your monthly payments. So let's say, for example, you're trading in a 2006 Chevy Impala. You want to get a new one, right? So you have a 2006 Impala with 8 million miles on it. What the actual car manager or the salesperson will do is in front of you, they'll silently devalue your trade. That's what we call devaluing your trade. So while you're talking and he's asking you questions about the car, he'll touch a little chip here, a little dent there, notice that the wheels are scuffed. It's all subconscious, okay? It's telling you that he knows that your car is a piece of junk, right? So right away, he's actually silently devaluing your vehicle. So when they come back to you with this Foursquare, okay, you're gonna have a trade-in value. Let's just say he wants to give you $4 grand for your piece of junk, right? They're gonna have a price of the car. Let's just say you're buying a new Impala, and we'll call this $24,900. These are all just hypothetical numbers. Down payment, this is the money that they want you to put down. Let's just say $4 grand. And then monthly payment, they'll sketch out like 3 different scenarios, right? You'll have, let's say, $500 at 60 months, $475 at 72 months, and then they'll have like $575, or excuse me, let's just call it $450 at 84 months, okay? So when they come back to you with this Foursquare, it's essentially a piece of paper with these 4 squares. These are all meant to be negotiation pieces, okay? The dealership is really making their money on the monthly payment and also how much you put down. So financing is by far the most profitable center within the whole dealership, okay? So when you go to the guys in the back to do paperwork and they're selling you rim insurance and warranties and all that stuff, that's all junk for the most part, okay? That's the highest margin in the dealership. The second highest is the service center. So when you go to get your car serviced, yeah, you might as well be getting your rear end serviced because you're taking it right there. And then lastly, new cars are the least profitable area of the dealership, okay? Think about it logically. If you're a Chevy dealership and you get brand new Chevys, what do you think a brand new Chevy is gonna cost? It's gonna cost the same in Ohio as it does in Florida, as it does in California, as it does in Alaska. It's a brand new car with an MSRP, okay? These dealerships are getting them for relatively the same price. They can only mark up new cars so much. The new car sale is the least profitable center for the dealership. Remember that. The used car is actually way more profitable than the new car, and you'll see why. That's exactly from this Foursquare. So what will happen is you guys are negotiating on a car, you pick out a car you like, you test drive it, you like it, you smell it, you touch it, oh, you're in love, right? Especially when you're coming out of this piece of junk here. So they sit you down at the table. Would you like a cup of coffee? Oh, here's my manager. Oh, this is Mike. Yeah, nice to meet you. Thanks for stopping in today. Blah, 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 right? It's all an act. It's Hollywood. So what they do is they come back with this Foursquare, this piece of paper that has these numbers on it, and the numbers are meant to offend you, okay? They're meant to get you into kind of like a, oh my God, these are so high. What is this? This is crazy. because what they want to do is they want you to beat them up so you feel like you got a deal, right? It's all perception, and perception is reality. So the salesperson is going to say, okay, I'm going to go through the trade-in, it's $4,000, this is the price of the Impala, and they're going through this really quick, right? Down payment is this, and your monthly payments are this. And they're going to say, okay, if these numbers work for you, just initial here on this X, I will take this car home today. There you go. So that initialing portion is very important. It's because it's subconscious, it's psychological. Normally when we sign things, we're committing our signature. That's like committing our word, our trust, right? So when we do that, when we initial on this piece of paper and go back to the manager, or the salesperson takes the paper back to the manager and says, yep, here you go. You just bought a new car, congratulations. Even if the terms aren't exactly what you wanted, you feel bad about initialing and going back on your word. So I know that's long-winded, but it's very important, okay? So typically what the salesperson is going to say is, okay, which where do we have to work with you on for you to take home this car? Okay, and most people that have half a brain will say every square, okay? But some of these people, they don't understand numbers, so they're going to go straight to their down payment. They're going to think about the cash that they have, or in this case, don't have. So a lot of people that are buying these kinds of cars, they're not very mathematically savvy, and they're also broke, to be honest with you. So they're going to say, you know what, I need to lower my down payment. I don't really have $4,000 with me right now. You know, is there any way we can go a little bit lower? And the salesperson will put on an act and say, oh, you know, if you lower the down payment, these monthly payments are going to go up. It's just basic math. It's kind of like a scale, blah, 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 right? But my manager's feeling kind of crazy today. He's in a good mood. He just shot really nice score on this 18 round of golf. We'll see what we can do here. We'll try and move this to $3,000, okay? These payments may go up a little, and that's when they start talking about payments. They want to keep the conversation down here. Payments are most important to them. Remember that. Excuse me. So now you're going to start talking payments. The person's going to say, well, you know what? I think those payments were high to begin with. I told you I really need to be right around, $350 a month, $300 a month. People have needed to be $300 a month for the last 20 years, okay? That's where everyone wants to be. Probably a little bit less than that even. So the salesperson is going to say, well, I moved a little bit on the down payment for you. It's going to be really hard to get you into, $350, but I'll see what I can do. My manager's in a really good mood today. He's a really good guy. So what they'll do is they'll cross out this on 84 months to get you into the longest term possible, and they'll say, okay, $375. All right, what I'll do is I'm going to take this back to my manager. If I can get you at $3,000 down payment and at $375, will you initial here and take the car home today? And what are you going to do? You'll say, well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't want to commit to anything. Or unless you're a pushover and they're clubbing you like a baby seal, okay, you're going to sign that because you're an idiot. Okay? So most people won't sign that, but they'll say, hey, go take it to your manager. Let's see what we can do. The salespeople never want to talk on this, right? And even if they do get to that point, this is all a game. They know how much they have or how much they can sell your trade-in for, and they'll wiggle on this, but they won't wiggle on the price. And if they do wiggle on the price, they won't budge on the trade, right? The trade comes in exponentially lower than what it's really worth. It's all about those margins, you guys. So when the salesperson comes back and says, you know what, Jim? He'll come back with a big smile on his face. Hey, you know what, Marco? I was able to get you down to $3,000 and we can get you into those payments. I wasn't able to do $375, but I can do $389. Is that okay for you? And you're going to say, well, it's still a little bit high, but you know what? It's close enough. Thanks a lot. And you're gonna sign right here or initial. What he just did was he bumped this payment up roughly $14, $15. Over the course of this term, that just made the dealership over $1,500 easily in interest, okay? They all have relationships with local banks. How do you think auto financing works, you guys? GM, Lexus Credit, Toyota Credit, Ally, that's where they make their money. It's in the financing. They don't make money selling cars, okay? That's the smallest portion of profit for these dealerships and also for the manufacturers. So next time, understanding this Foursquare, next time you go to buy a car, go in with your own financing already in place. Talk to a local credit union, show them the car that you want to buy or that you're interested in, get pre-approved or even get a certified check or a loan for that amount, right? That way your interest is fixed and it's lower than what it would be at the dealership. The dealership intentionally leaves margin in these numbers, that way that their guys in the back can sell you warranties for much less than what they actually cost. Hey, it's only bumping up your payment $2 a month. Why wouldn't you do this, right? It's all a game, you guys. So now, knowing what you know, get your financing in place and don't tell them you have a trade, okay? When you go to a dealership, do not tell them you have a trade. Negotiate the car that you really like, act as if you don't have a trade, and then bring this in at the last second. They'll give you a ridiculously low number, but at the end of the day, it's worth doing because you're negotiating on price. You're not negotiating on the price of your trade-in. Does that make sense? So I hope this video was valuable to you. I know it's a little bit longer, but if you watch through the whole entire thing, please give the video a like, share this video with a friend who's about to go get ripped off or buy a car from a dealership, and just let them know about Whiteboard Finance, you guys. I put in a lot of effort into these videos. Thank you so much and have a prosperous day.